The Cleaner by Mark Dawson, narrated by David Thorpe. I suppose it's my own fault that I didn't like this. I bought it on the back of listening to Tarantula, another Mark Dawson book that is based around the character of John Milton featured in this book. There are two differences, however. One, that book was a prequel of sorts, and two, it was good. In that book, which is more of a novella actually, we follow John Milton on one of his missions. I thought this was going to be more of the same, and bought the book without reading the description. I won't be doing that again in a hurry. This is the first book in this series, and it introduces us to the character of John Milton, an assassin of a government agency called Group 15. However, he's had enough of the killing. An operation at the beginning of the novel doesn't go exactly to plan, and he leaves behind a witness, a 5-year-old boy, unable to kill him. Throughout the novel, he also has flashbacks, although those stop abruptly for no reason. Milton realizes he's had enough and tells his boss he quits. However, his boss informs him he can't simply do that, and that's where this book begins to fall apart. There is one strand in the novel where Milton is, unbeknownst to him, being chased and targeted by number 12 from Group 15. Milton is number 1. The second strand sees him helping out a woman who tries to commit suicide by lying on the rails at a tube station. Milton saves her, takes her home, and decides to help, and most of the action and dialogue is black gang members smoking or selling drugs, buying drugs, rolling joints, passing joints, sparking them up, taking tokes, snorting lines of cocaine, and smoking crack. There's a lot of smoking in this, joints, cigarettes, and cigars. The author takes great delight in describing the inhalation of smoke. It's like a fetish, and certainly needless. There were also needless descriptions of a riot. There are lots of needless descriptions, in fact. Want to know how to install a pane of glass? This book's got you covered. Need to know about putting a ladder against a wall to get on a roof to repair some tiles? This is the book for you. So that's one reason why I didn't like the novel. The second is, I simply wasn't interested in the topic. Black teenage gang members involved in robbery and selling drugs in Hackney holds no interest for me, and I certainly have no interest in a white author's take on it all. Hats off to David Thorpe for being able to reproduce the way they speak, which, I'm reliably informed, is called Multicultural London English, or MLE. It has a distinctive style of pronunciation, unique vocabulary, and its own grammar, and to my ear, it's not pleasant. While MLE is not exclusive to black teenagers, it has strong roots in the language patterns of African, Caribbean, and other immigrant communities. And to be clear, my dislike of this isn't due to race. I have similar dislike of the Birmingham and Aberdeen accents. And again, I feel I have to stress, my dislike of the topic isn't due to the fact that these teenagers are black. I would have no interest if it was white kids doing this, but their color is connected to the way they speak. The story at the heart of the book is about Milton trying to help Sharon Warrener and her son Elijah, or Jar Jar. Elijah is on the fringes of a gang about to be sucked in, and Milton does all he can to stop this. Elijah initially distrusts Milton, sure he's just after sex with his mum, like so many men before him, so it seems. Milton assures him that's not the case. He wants to help, but what happens? Of course Milton sleeps with her. Of course Elijah catches them the morning after, because this highly trained government assassin is, of course, going to sleep in that particular morning. And, of course, this is going to create tension, and, of course, it's going to send Elijah to the very heart of this gang. There is not a scrap of originality in this book. There are other strands to this book, and they just took up space. I don't know why so many authors these days are stuffing their books with unnecessary subplots. I also made this observation with The Fine Art of Invisible Detection by Robert Goddard. Novels don't need to be 10 to 12 hours long and stuffed with more characters than you could possibly remember. It seems this was Mark Dawson's first novel, which explains a lot. I've since listened to other books by this author and enjoyed them, at least some of them, immensely. For example, the Group 15 series of novellas was great, as was Tarantula, which I mentioned at the beginning of this review. The House in the Woods, however, was utter garbage. The end of the description on Audible says, if you like Lee Child's Jack Reacher, Vince Flynn's Mitch Rapp, and Robert Ludlum's Jason Bourne, you love the compulsively addictive John Milton series. The only thing this book has in common with those is that it features a male protagonist. Would I listen to another novel by Mark Dawson? I really don't know. I'd need to read the 1 and 2 star reviews first. Would I listen to another novel narrated by David Thorpe? Yes, he's one of the best British audiobook narrators out there, alongside Robert Whitfield or Simon Vance. All in all, I'd give the story a 2 out of 5 and the narrator a 5 out of 5. How about you? Have you listened to this novel? Have you listened to any others by Mark Dawson? Are there any you would recommend? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as I release a new review every week. Thanks for watching.